I think she kind of is a show-off, and she even admits it. Not in the way of like, I am a diva show-off, just in the way of she likes to make people laugh. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Generation in Between, a Xennial podcast, where we remember, revisit, and sometimes relearn all kinds of things about being 80s kids and 90s teens. My name is Danny.
Hi, everyone. I'm Katie.
And today is the first day of Xennial Girl Summer.
I feel like we need a sound effect like
or
something.
That guy at karaoke that time?
Yes.
That air horn.
Yeah, or the guy, did you ever watch Superstore?
No.
Bo, it was a character on there. He would just always make that sound, just
oh my God, I
in
love
real
this.
life. He was great. I'll send you a video. But yes, Xennial Girl Summer.
Xennial Girl Summer. So we have 4 books we're rereading from our childhood time, 4 movies that we're rewatching. Well, for Katie, have you watched? You have not seen 2 of them, right?
2 of them I haven't seen.
So we're rewatching or watching for the first time. So if you want a list of what we're doing, go to our Insta, and they're pinned at the top. So it'll tell you the titles and what day our episode's airing, so you can watch and have it all fresh in your little brain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so today we're starting, and hold on, I have the book. Katie, tell everyone what book we're doing today.
Today we are doing Ramona Quimby, age 8.
And look, I got one from Thrift
so
Books
good.
from the 80s. This is the one. This isn't the one that I personally have, but this is the edition that I had, okay, on my shelf. And this was the one that my kids used to have too. They don't have them anymore because we read all the Ramona books. So did you read these as a kid?
I feel like I did not.
You didn't?
But I know who she is. So I'm wondering if like my older kids maybe read them, because a lot of the stories in the story, like all the things that happened to her, I remembered as I was reading. So either I read it or my kids read it, or I don't know. I should have asked my kids.
I'm shocked.
I know. It's weird.
It's such a weird...
It's such a cute book.
I loved these books as a kid because I could relate to Ramona so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I mean, look, I even looked like this, guys. This, hello,
that
look at this.
picture of her is so good.
I had crazy hair. I mean, I was a mess. Like Ramona is...
Were you a nuisance and a show off?
I was, guys. I was bossy.
Yep.
Like, my sister used to, like, get onto me because I had my friend down the street who was on our boy band, had that clip on our New Kids episode.
Yes.
My best friend Alicia lived down the street, and I was so bossy. And my sister would, like, come in our playroom and be like, quit being so bossy. But I was the youngest, and so I had nobody to boss. So...
I mean, I was the oldest and I was also bossy.
Were you?
Yes. Like, but more like...
And you're the only girl, too.
I'd be like, we're going to play like a game, like house or farm or something. I'd be like, now you say this.
Yeah.
And I'll say this.
Yes.
I would do that.
Same,
yeah. Which
same.
is, you know, we were meant to be performers, I guess.
Assertive.
Yes.
What is that saying? It's I'm not bossy. I'm just...
I have leadership skills.
Leadership
skills.
That's the one I've seen. That's
Sounds
it, guys. Good. Well, okay, so you hadn't read them, so this was your first experience remembering it.
Remembering that I read it.
But maybe your kids read them. She also reminds me of Tegan a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm like...
The way she worries about money and stuff, Tegan's like that.
I love these books so much. But before we get into this book, and I picked this book specifically, this is like a bunch of Ramona books in a series, but this is the one I remember, and I used to reread books. I remember rereading this particular one the most.
Okay.
And I think my sister had some of them, because when we go through the timeline, you'll see when some of these were written. And then I had some of my own. But anyway, this is the one I remembered. The picture I remember, it like lives in my brain forever. So when I was like, I have to order it, and I wanted to read it. Now, you listened to it.
I did listen to it on Audible, read by Stockard Channing.
Guys.
Doing all the different voices. And when people were singing songs, she sang the songs, like the tune of them. It was really good.
I love this so much.
She was great.
I love it so much. But before we start talking about this book and the Ramona books, we're going to talk about the author, Beverly Cleary. Now, you probably have read some book somewhere written by her.
For sure.
As a kid, because she wrote all the Ralph S. Mouse books. So Runaway Ralph, Mouse and Motorcycle. We've talked about those before a long time ago. She won a bunch of awards. She wrote Dear Mr. Henshaw, which is a book that came out in the 80s that was about a kid writing to his favorite author as his parents were going through divorce.
Oh, wow.
I loved that book because I read it at the time that my parents were going through divorce. And it was, she is like Judy Blume in that she knows how to encapsulate kids' brains.
Yeah. And what they're actually thinking, like, yeah.
Yeah. So her story, you are going to love how she became an author.
Okay.
So Beverly Cleary was born April 12th, 1916. And y'all, she died on March 25th, 2021. She was 104.
What?
She was almost 105.
That's wild.
Right.
Wait, what year did she die?
2021.
2021. Wow. But you said she was born in 1916. Oh, 104.
That's what
Sorry.
I know.
I was
I'm
thinking
like,
100.
yes.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, my God.
I know. So
you go, Beverly.
I know. Amazing. So she's actually one of America's most successful authors to date. She's had 91 million copies of her books have sold worldwide. And it's probably more than that because this was a few years old research I found. And she was first published in 1950.
Dang.
I know.
Wow.
I know. So the beginning of her life, she lived in rural Oregon. She lived on a farm till she was 6. And then her family moved to the big city of Portland. That adjustment from going from country life to the city was pretty difficult for her. And so she struggled when she started school. So in first grade, her teacher put her in a group for struggling readers. Now, for those of y'all who are younger people, this even happened to us back in the 80s. We were put in like reading placement groups. Do you remember this?
Oh, yeah.
And all schools called them something different, but everybody knew who was in what group.
Of course.
So she has said this. The first grade was sorted into 3 reading groups: the bluebirds, redbirds, and blackbirds.
Oh.
I know. I was a blackbird, and to be a blackbird was to be disgraced. I wanted to read, but somehow could not.
Oh.
I know. So it's just sad. I feel like that's such a disservice to everyone. It's helpful to keep kids in groups who are on the same level, but then it's also helpful to have them all together so they can help each other.
For sure.
And learn from each other.
That's tough, yeah. Because it's like you don't want the people who are advancing to be held back, which I guess is probably the main reason. Nowadays, they have so much segmentation on online programs, things like iReady. Kids still talk about that, though.
I know.
Like my kid and one of her friends in a kind way compete. They'll be like, what? I'm on grade 8. They're like 5th graders.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm on grade 9 in a month, and it's like, what if you're a kid that's like, I'm on the normal grade we're supposed to be on or less, right? So I think they're trying to help customize it, but kids still talk.
I know.
So it's still hard.
So she started off on a kind of a hard path with reading, but her skills improved and she got better at it. But eventually she just found reading boring. And she said many of the stories were simple, they were unsurprising, and she wondered why authors didn't write with humor or about ordinary people for kids.
Huh.
Which, I mean, we have so much now.
That's
but think about when she was a kid, there was not. But however, on a rainy afternoon at home during her third grade year, she found herself enjoying reading a book called The Dutch Twins, which was a book by Lucy Fitch Perkins. And this book was just about the adventures of ordinary kids. And she loved it. So she has said that book was an epiphany for her. And afterwards, she started to spend tons of time reading. She was at the library all the time, trying to find new books. And by 6th grade, a teacher said that Beverly should become a children's writer herself based on essays she had written for class assignments.
Oh, by 6th grade.
6th grade.
That's awesome.
So that's that book right there. I think that's really cool because I have always been a big reader. I love books. My kids are the same way. And it makes me so happy because I'm a huge reader. I read to them constantly when they were little. They were big readers as soon as they could read. We went to library tons, especially because we moved. Every time we moved, we would go to the library first. That was like a fun thing. And libraries are like comfortable wherever you go. So even if we were in a new scary place, we could go to the library and there's books and it's fine. Right. But my older son, once they get to middle school, high school, and they have to read for school, they kind of fall out of it. I remember I did this too. And he's finally back in it. It makes me
Yay.
so happy. He bought a Kindle with his own money, like one of those really fancy, nice ones. And
he bought one for Amelia, too.
I know. He's peer pressuring her to read.
Yeah. She's
that.
like, I'm getting a Kindle. I'm like, okay. Don't you have an iPad? She's like, it's just for reading.
Well, and they are cool. I can't do it. I have to touch it.
I like books, too.
And he was showing me like, but Mom, look. I'm like, it's not a book, sir. It's a screen, and I don't like it. But anyway, it makes me happy that he has found his way back to reading.
Yes.
So anyway. So she's a big reader. She starts writing stuff on her own. And after she graduated high school, she went to Chaffey Junior College in Ontario, California, not Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And she had aspirations of becoming a kid's librarian.
Okay.
So she had 2 years there. She did, her basic stuff, got all those classes out the way. She got accepted to UC Berkeley, and she got a BA in English in 1938. Now, let's think about that. There weren't a lot of women in college.
I was going to say that would have been not unusual. Maybe that's not the word, because there were some women.
Sure.
But that was certainly not the commonplace.
Yeah, and think about it. She was a woman in college during the Great Depression.
That's insane.
I know. So while she was there, she met her future husband, Clarence Cleary.
Oh.
During those 2 years. And she met him at a school dance, which I guess they had in college back in the day. They didn't have the clubs to go to.
Right. I wonder how many, what the ratio of men to women was at that, though.
Oh, God. I bet it was crazy.
Probably so off kilter.
I bet it was crazy.
Yeah.
So she met her husband, and in 1939, she graduated from the School of Librarianship at the University of Washington with a second bachelor's degree in library science.
Okay.
She accepted a year-long position as a children's librarian in Yakima, Washington. Yes. And during this time, her parents actually disapproved of Clarence because he was a Roman Catholic, and they were not. They were Protestant.
Oh, boy.
So they said, whatever, and they eloped in 1940. So
they said, we don't care, bye.
Yeah, so they got married during her year there, and she worked as a librarian on post at the U.S. Army Hospital on Camp John T. Knight in Oakland, California from 1942 to 1945. Then she worked at Sathergate Bookshop in Berkeley before she became a full-time writer for kids. So here's how she kind of took the jump to become a full-time author. While she was working as a kids librarian, she really empathized with the kids who would come in because they had a hard time finding books with characters they could relate to. They would ask her questions like, why aren't there more books about regular kids? And she was like, actually, correct. Why aren't there? So after a few years of making recommendations of books that were already around, and then she would also perform live storytelling at the library, she said, you know what? I'm going to start writing books about characters that these little young readers can relate to, that they're asking for. I want to give them what they're asking for.
Wow.
And boy, did she.
Boy, did she. What'd you say, 90 million or something?
Yeah, boy. Because
in the end?
When you hear when she started and that the books she wrote so long ago are still prevalent and kids are still enjoying them, that is such a talent. I can't even. It's like Judy Blume.
Yeah.
So after World War II, her and her husband settled in, I love the name of this city, Carmel by the Sea.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know that?
It was on Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. It's the episode where someone's getting baptized and Larry thinks they're drowning.
You're right.
I think that's where they are.
Oh, my God. I didn't know you watched that show. Troy loved that show. He loves Larry David. Anyway. They settled there, and in 1955, she gave birth to twins, Malcolm and Mary Ann.
Aww.
And they lived in Carmel Valley Village from the 1960s on. I think she lived there till she died.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I don't think I wrote that down. But anyway, so the majority of her books are actually set in the Grant Park neighborhood of Northeast Portland, Oregon, where she was raised. And she's been credited as one of the first authors of children's literature to figure emotional realism in the narratives of her characters, often children in middle-class families.
Okay.
Now, there's a lot of people who do that now, but she was one of the first.
I mean, that makes sense because if you think about it, I don't know that I can name them off the top of my head, but a lot of books for kids that featured kids were more like adventure type things.
Yeah. Well, like the Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew.
Even Nancy Drew. It's like, what? Yeah. And
what about regular life?
What about things that aren't so far out there? Oh, I'll have to tell you about the movie I saw yesterday now that you said Nancy Drew at some point. Sheep Detectives. Sorry to derail this conversation.
Okay, well, now we got to go into it.
Okay, have you heard of it?
No.
Neither had I, but
is that one of those like British claymation ones? That's what it sounds like.
It does sound like that, and I thought it would be like that, but it's live action.
It's real sheep.
Hugh Jackman's in it. Real sheep light.
She's like, calm down.
It's like they used
mean?
different sheep, but there's computer generated portions.
Oh, it's like
Babe. They talk and
like
stuff.
Babe.
It's a lot like Babe.
Oh, okay, except they're sheep.
I actually really enjoyed it. It's a murder mystery whodunit. I'm not joking. And the sheep solve the crime. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I'm telling you, it was really good.
What, did Tegan want to see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Tegan has a summer bucket list. First of all, she's trying to do everything in the first couple days.
Of course.
And we said, slow down.
Of course she is.
Summer's long. So her and two of her little neighborhood friends wanted to ride their bikes to the plaza, which is where the cinema is. But none of us felt like super comfortable with them going by themselves yet. Mainly because of cars and stuff. It's just bad traffic and it's not super close. So I had some time yesterday. So I was like, I'll ride with you guys. And then we want to see this movie. I'm like, that's fine. I don't care. Whatever you guys want to see. So I don't read up on it, nothing. I'm just like, I'll figure it out when I get there. If it's a cartoon, I'll just take a nap, right? We get the recliner chairs. We go. I'm totally shocked and amazed to see that Hugh Jackman's in it. You know who else is in it? Emma Thompson.
What?
Yeah. And so it's this like, I guess British village, rural area, and this guy's a shepherd, Hugh Jackman, and I don't want to spoil it, but anyway.
I can probably guarantee I won't watch this movie.
But everyone else might.
True.
And it is summer. It's a good summer movie.
True.
And anyway, I cried 3 different times. It moved me. Plus, the murder mystery storyline surprised me. Like at the end when it was like solved, I was like, oh, wow. I didn't even see that coming.
It's like cinematic genius. Sheep Detectives.
I will,
10 out of 10.
I will watch it again. It was really good.
Wow.
Yeah. And the girls loved it, of course.
Oh, my. Were the sheep cute?
The sheep were and they had baby lambs. And it was funny because they had 3 of them. And
wait,
one of them.
Sheep and lambs, are they the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I actually had the same thought.
Okay.
I was like, lambs. I was like, those are sheep, right?
Right? They're just the little.
Yeah. That's just what you call them.
Okay.
They're lambs when they're little. So there were 3 of them. And I was like, oh, look, it's you guys. Because, But one of the little ones' names was Pickles.
Oh, my God. Stop.
I was dying. The sheep's names were really cute in the film. Because the big thing was like Hugh Jackman named them all. He said, you have to name your sheep. So they all had names and stuff. It was really, really cute.
You're kind of selling me on this movie.
I'm telling you, you will probably actually like it.
You know what we watched was Project Hail Mary. Oh, so good.
I haven't seen that yet.
It's so good. Well, I read the book first. Highly recommend reading the book first.
So sorry about that, but Sheep Detectives, highly recommend.
Also Project Hail Mary. 2 very different movies.
2 very different movies.
But you'll cry in both of them. So...
And there's really no dogs in the Sheep Detectives. Don't worry. There's 2 sheepdogs for like a second.
That's 2
it.
dogs. 2 dogs more than I need.
For like a second.
Oh,
it's not about the dogs is what I'm getting
thank God.
Okay.
You know what? Kaden loved all those dog movies where they talked Super Buddies and Air Buddies and all that. Oh my God.
I love those too.
I could not. They loved those. Anyway, all right. Moving on. Back to Beverly Cleary. Here's some things that quotes that critics have said about her. Cleary is funny in a very sophisticated way. She gets very close to satire, which I think is why adults like her, but she's still deeply respectful of her characters. Nobody gets a laugh at the expense of another. I think kids appreciate that they're on a level playing field with adults.
I love that.
Yeah.
Great summary.
It's kind of things that I hadn't really thought about, that's why they appeal to kids and adults. Cleary's books have lasted because she understands her audience. She knows they're sometimes confused or frightened by the world around them and that they feel deeply about things that adults can dismiss. Which is hard. I mean, I do it all the time and I have to remind myself, okay, they're just kids. Like,
it is relative and they don't have the life experience that we do to know. It's actually going to be fine, whatever this thing is. They actually feel however level of emotion they feel. Yeah.
Correct. So, and nothing as a little kid who felt big feelings, nothing made me more mad when I was a kid than somebody told me to stop being dramatic.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing made me more mad, or it's not that big of a deal. Because it was to me.
Yeah.
Like, so
It
stop
discounts.
it.
Well, there's a part in the book where her mom is saying that about the teacher. She's like, well, if you act like this, I think that wouldn't like you either or something. And it like hurts her. She's like, my mom should be on my side or whatever. But like, that was very relatable.
Yeah.
I felt like.
I was so Ramona. Listen. Okay. So her first kids book was Henry Huggins. That was written in 1950. So this was the first in a series of fictional chapter books just like these about Henry. You'll love this. His dog Ribsy.
Oh, cute.
And his neighborhood friend Beezus and her little sister Ramona. So when she was writing the book, Beverly Cleary took inspiration from the times she wrote stories for children during her story hours when she was storytelling. And then Ramona was just a minor character in the book of Henry Huggins, but I'll explain to you how that got to be a little bit bigger. So in a minute, Cleary's her first book that shifted focus to center on Beezus and Ramona was called Beezus and Ramona, and it was published in 1955, so a few years after Henry Huggins. A publisher asked her to write a book about a kindergarten student, and she resisted because she didn't go to kindergarten. That's what she said. Like, I never went to kindergarten. I can't write about it. But later she changed her mind after her twins were born.
Aww.
Other classics that Beverly Cleary wrote that you may know, like I just said, the Ralph S. Mouse books, those she started in 1965.
Oh, wow.
Those were some of my favorite Beverly Cleary books when I was a kid. Dear Mr. Henshaw, which I told you about, that was written in 1983.
Okay.
She wrote a book called Socks, which I completely forgot about until I came across it and I went, oh my God, I love that book. Guys, it's about a cat named Socks. Uh-oh. Everything okay?
No, it's good, yeah.
It's about a pampered tabby cat who has to learn to share his owner when they have a new baby.
Oh my gosh,
it's written from the cat's perspective.
Oh, that's cute.
I forgot about this book, so we may have to read that. That was written in 1973.
Okay.
So some of these books that were written like earlier, my sister had, and I got them from her, and then the ones she wrote later I had. But if you're a Xennial, you may know some of those books because they were probably on your elementary teacher's shelf or in your library. She also actually wrote two memoirs, one about her childhood, and that was called A Girl from Yamhill, 1988 is when it came out. And then she wrote one about her years in college and as an adult up to writing her first book. And that was called My Own 2 Feet. And that came out in 1995.
Okay.
So she lived a while when she wrote it. Yeah. These are just some more fun facts about her specifically. And then we'll talk about Ramona books. She did have a public school in Portland named after her, the Beverly Cleary School. She's had several statues of some of her most famous characters, including Ramona, erected in Grant Park in 1995. So you can go to Little Park and there's like Henry and Ramona.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Her books have been published in over 25 different languages, guys.
Wow.
She's gotten tons of awards and honors, and here's just a few. In 1981, she won the National Book Award for Ramona and Her Mother. That's the name of the book. 1984, she got the Newbery Medal for Dear Mr. Henshaw. For her lifetime contributions to American literature, she received the National Medal of Arts, which is kind of a big deal. She got recognition as a Library of Congress living legend.
Love.
And the Laura Ingalls Wilder Medal from the Association for Library Service to Children. So and there's plenty more she's gotten, but those are just a few of the standouts. This is really fun, especially after reading this book. Publisher HarperCollins recognizes her birthday, April 12th, as National Drop Everything and Read Day, Dear Day, in promotion of sustained silent reading.
Yeah.
As you read about in this book.
Which we read about, yeah.
So, did you have that in school?
Yes. I don't think it was called that, but we had reading time and we had journaling time, depending what grade I was in. Where
we
would
did too.
Write about.
Yeah. I loved. I think we called it Dear. I loved it so much because all the book nerds out there were like, yes, because you try to read anyway throughout your school day.
Right.
Especially I would finish work early.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't do anything, but your teacher would be like, well, you can read a book. And I'd be like, yes, that's all I want to do. So I'd rush through my math, which I didn't like anyway, and
get to your reading.
Get to my book. I had
love it.
stuff to do. Okay. So now we're going to talk about Ramona Quimby, age 8. And we'll talk a little things, and then I have discussion questions.
Ooh!
I know. Fun
Yay.
times.
Okay. That'll be fun.
I have some stuff thrown into about the other Ramona books as well, since this is the only one we're reading. But first, here is the summary from the back of the book of Ramona Quimby, age 8. Now that Ramona is 8 years old, she's doing all kinds of things she's never done before. She's in a new school with a new teacher, and best of all, she takes the school bus all by herself. But since her mother works and her daddy's in art school, Ramona has to stay with old Miss Kemp every day until Beezus comes for her. And as if all that isn't bad enough, she has to be nice to 4-year-old Willa Jean. Ramona knows the family is depending on her to be brave with all these changes, but sometimes it's hard. Can Ramona really handle a new school, help out at home, put up with Willa Jean, and still keep smiling? Dun, dun, dun.
Can she indeed? We're going to find out.
Okay, so did you have fun listening to this book?
I really enjoyed it.
It's so good.
I really enjoyed it.
I don't even know the amount of times I read this book as a kid. It was a lot. Because I think that was one of my anxiety techniques was rereading books. But I haven't touched this since Cooper was probably around this age. So it's been years. And oh my God, it's still so fun.
Yeah. And I think that, yes, there's a lot of things that as you're reading, you're like, oh, I could see how a kid would really like this. But then there's a lot of things as an adult that you process differently.
Absolutely.
The parent stuff for sure. Because I'm sure if I read this as a kid or with my kids, whatever, you put yourself in Ramona's shoes. That's the beauty of it. But then when you're a parent reading, you're like, oh, I know why the mom said that. Or I say stuff like that. Or I know why the dad, or even just the financial jigsaw that is, 2 working parents and then one's in school, but your transmission goes out, I don't know. It just kind of, I really had moments where I was toggling between kid me. Yeah. That was oh yeah, I remember feeling like that. And adult me that's oh yeah, she got that family dynamic right or whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I really enjoyed it.
It was so funny to read it back as an adult for that exact reason. It's oh, I know why her dad's grumpy. He's tired and you being annoying.
Right.
He's trying to do work.
Yes. Or why the teacher is the way she is or whatever. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So here's some more facts about this book and the other Ramona books. So this book was published in 1981. Okay. So my sister must not have had this book. It was just mine. And it is number 6 in the 8-book series. All of the Ramona books together, I'm going to tell you the titles and the year they came out.
Okay.
So Beezus and Ramona was 1955. Ramona the Pest, 1968. Ramona the Brave, 1975. Ramona and Her Father, 1977. Ramona and Her Mother, 1979. Ramona Quimby, age 8, 1981. Ramona Forever, 1984. And then Ramona's World, 1999.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the idea for the Ramona books, like we talked about, came from Henry Huggins' series. It takes place in the same neighborhood. In those books, Beezus was one of Henry's friends. And then Ramona was just a side character. She was generally just a pest to Henry. She was the annoying little sister. So while writing the Henry Huggins series, she realized that all the characters she had created so far while she was writing had no siblings. So she was like, well, let me throw in a little sister to describe Beezus' nickname, whose full name is Beatrice, by the way. And when deciding on a name for the little sister, you'll love this as a writer. She was working at home writing, and she overheard one of her own neighbors call out to another one, Ramona. And she was like, oh, I like that name. I'm going to use that.
That's awesome.
Isn't that hilarious?
Yeah.
So somebody just calling out their window, whether they're calling to a kid or a person or a cat, who knows? So that's how she came up with her name. So that's kind of how the story of Ramona came around. In 1955, after she had written 3 books in the Henry series, she wrote Beezus and Ramona, and Beezus is the main character in that book, not Ramona.
The first one.
Yeah, the first one.
Got it.
And in 1968, she had finished the Henry series, and she returned to Beezus and Ramona in Ramona the Pest, and that book became the foundation for the Ramona series, where Ramona is the character.
Okay.
So she had one from Beezus, and then I guess she was just going to do one for Ramona, but then she was like, well, she's more fun to write about.
Yeah, and she's younger, so she's got more space to grow.
Yeah.
And go through things.
Exactly. And so all the Ramona books come from her point of view. So Ramona the Pest has Ramona starting kindergarten. And then the succeeding books follow her as she grows up and advances through school, usually at the rate of 1 grade over 2 books.
Okay.
So written from the 1950s all the way through the 90s, as you heard. The dates aren't mentioned in the books. The children are designed to appeal to any time period.
Mm-hmm.
So she tries really hard not to like speak too much of what is if I don't know if you noticed that when you're reading.
I mean, I'm thinking about it now as you're saying that. Like, there weren't really pop culture references. And even the jobs that like her parents have are pretty universal jobs that are gonna roll the dice, but probably like receptionists and teachers and grocery store workers is like a pretty common thing that's going to be around in our culture for a long time. So
yeah. So I kind of like that. She wanted it to be as timeless as it could be, you know? And so the last book, which was in 99, Ramona was in the 4th grade. So
I was going to ask you that. How old did she get by the end?
4th grade.
All right.
And generally, I mean, critics have been really positive about the Ramona books. So here's some quotes from them about them specifically. Ramona is irrepressible. She represents the kind of girl who has not been subdued by adults or the world in general. Cleary outlines Ramona's joys and sorrows in a manner both poignant and, how do you say that word?
Poignant.
Poignant. I always say that wrong. That word wrong.
Poignant.
There you go.
Poignant.
And hilarious. Through Ramona, Cleary touches young readers on an emotional level, which engages and challenges, but does not overwhelm. Her ability to sustain their attention over time from book to book remains an accomplishment beyond evaluation. Agreed.
Yes.
So nowadays, I mean, these books are kind of considered like a standard in children's, what they call realistic fiction, but they were super unique when they first started coming out. Like we said, there weren't a lot, which is why she started writing them. Ramona's complexity, like those critics just explained, was really unusual to find in kids' literature. They were just kind of, I don't know, they were like adventure books or whatever, or like Dick and Jane. And, you know, there wasn't a lot of emotional depth, I guess. And what I thought was interesting was there was one critic who was saying, like, seen through the eyes of any other character, Ramona could just be seen as like a nuisance, like an annoying pest. But when you hear from her point of view, it changes everything and all of her actions make sense.
Yes.
So what is seen as others as annoying, like her teacher, to her makes complete sense. You know, like, so I think that's very difficult as an author to do for kids.
Yeah, I think so. And it does make you empathize with her, right? When she overhears the teacher not speaking super kindly about her, or when she has the embarrassing things happen, or even being sick, like, again, those aren't things that, it's a good reminder as a parent too, I was realizing, and as a teacher, like, kids don't do those things to be annoying.
I know.
They don't, like,
sometimes
ask the questions. I mean, they're sure, but like most of the time, if we're bothered by it, it's because it's like interrupting what we're trying to get done, you know? And it's totally normal for kids of all ages, but certainly like 8 years old.
Oh, yeah.
To behave the way she does in this book, you know?
Of course.
Developmentally appropriate is what we would say.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. So we're almost to our discussion questions. 2 more little fun facts. Okay. These books, and I looked this up because I remember this. They were adapted for a Canadian TV series in 1988 called Ramona. I'm pretty sure that they showed it either on like PBS or HBO or something, because I remember watching it. And it was just called Ramona. It was a 10-part TV series, and it starred Sarah Polley, not that Sarah Polley, as Ramona, and Laurie Chodos as Beezus. And I think if you looked it up, you would recognize these kids.
Okay.
And they follow the books pretty close. And I looked up some clips and I'm like, God, I remember watching this. But they had this book with like all the scenes, and she's in the office and the teacher comes in and says she's a nuisance and all the things. But they did have a TV series. And then, I don't know if you remember this, they did make an American movie called Ramona and Beezus. Not Beezus and Ramona.
Oh.
I know. And it came out in 2010. It had Joey King as Ramona and Selena Gomez as Beezus.
I don't remember that at all.
I do. I'd never watched it. And the movie jumps around from book to book, but the plot mainly focuses on the 7th book in the series, Ramona Forever.
Okay.
So I haven't watched it. Maybe I should.
Yeah, maybe you should.
I bet you they try to make it like 2 of the time.
That's what I was just wondering. Like, do they make it like modern or do they set it back? But since she never lists dates, they probably made it modern.
But then I bet you they threw stupid stuff in that didn't need to be.
But like, Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret, the movie was a period piece.
True. I never watched it though. But that one you had to have. I mean, that was of the time. I mean, like even just like how you had a period.
And like how you
used products with a belt and oh my God, can you imagine?
That's true. That's a good point. That kind of stuff was dated, I guess. Yeah.
Right. Okay, you ready? Ready for discussion
questions?
I'm
ready.
So pumped. Now, these are from Beverly Cleary's website.
Okay.
So these are probably for kids, but whatever, it doesn't matter. We are going to do these questions.
We are honorary kids today because we read this book. Yes.
Okay, so here we go.
Okay.
And if you read this book with us, we want to know what you thought, and you can answer the questions to yourself and send us your answers if you want.
Yes.
Okay, so why is it so hard for Ramona to be nice to Howie Kemp's 4-year-old sister, Willa Jean?
Ooh, that is loaded. What do you think?
Well, okay, as somebody who's the youngest in their house, even if you just have one sibling, and then you're around another younger person, you don't know how to handle the dynamics of dealing with younger people. You know what I'm saying? Because you're the annoying one.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it's just like extra exhausting because you're like, well, how dare. Yeah. And it's almost like a mirror to yourself, but you don't know that. That's what the problem.
That's what I was going to say, is that Willa Jean is like her.
Right.
Probably when she was that age, but even now, as you mentioned. And so she's kind of on the receiving end now, right? And so that makes it, and also she's not the center of that like youngest attention. Someone else is, and she's being called upon to be the bigger person.
Right.
Which like in her own house, she doesn't have to do.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think that's why. I think it's just the dynamic itself. I don't necessarily think it's Willa Jean's fault. And I don't think she's more annoying than like any other 4-year-old. She reminded me of my daughter Erin at that age. Erin has always been like spotlight, tiara, look at me. Like when, I think I've told the story before, but when COVID happened, she would start coming to the breakfast table in full makeup. She'd wear wigs. And we'd be like, we wouldn't say anything. And then finally we were like, what's going on? She's like, well, you said I can wear makeup, just not to school. So she would wear like 6 or 7 years old. She would wear like full.
That is hysterical.
She would wear like this mermaid costume. Like, so Willa Jean was really, and she always wanted to be old, like, I'm older than I am.
She wasn't like 6 or 7 during COVID. That was middle school. They were in middle school.
No, Erin.
Yeah, Erin and Coop are this. I mean,
they weren't in middle school during
Never mind.
COVID.
Caden was. You're right.
Caden, yeah. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, she would have been like
too many kids. I don't know.
7.
You're right.
Because that was 6 years ago.
She was a year older than Cooper.
Yeah.
And he, yes.
So she was about 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, she was, you're like, Danny, my kid. I know how old
I promise. And I can see her little face. And yeah, and she was always, and because my 3 older ones are so close in age, and then there's a gap for her. Yeah. She's not like that drastically much younger than all of them, but they always would kind of view her as like, the annoying little sister, and not each other.
Right.
Because they were kind of all the same age.
Same, yeah.
So I don't know. Willa Jean just reminded me of her.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. I thought it was really cute.
Okay. Well, here's another question about that. Okay. Why does Ramona's mother say that getting along at the Kemps is Ramona's job in the family?
Probably just to try to not scare her, but like guilt her into behaving.
Right.
That's what I think.
Yeah. Well, and also maybe she was also kind of backhandedly trying to give her like a responsibility. Like, okay, well, your dad is going to school and working and I'm doing this and Beezus doing this. And this is your responsibility.
I think so.
This is what you're going to do. And you're going to keep it together.
This is what we're asking of you.
It reminded me of, because like I grew up with working parents and then, my parents split up. So I always had somebody taking care of me at some point in time, whether it was my older sister or my grandma moved down at some point. But before that, there was a lady who lived down the street who's like Miss Kemp, and her name was Miss Betty. Betty Sparks was her name. And that's where the neighborhood kids would go. Like if she was retired, retired lady. And I remember having to go there sometimes, and I hated going there because it was boring. And she had, I don't remember if it was her granddaughter or somebody in her family, but she had a little girl she would have to watch just like this. She was a lot younger than me though, like more than 4 years. And I would have to entertain her. And I hated that. I would be like, ugh. And I was like, Ramona, I just wanted to sit on my butt and read my book until I could leave.
Yes.
And then I'd have to entertain this little girl. And I totally forgot about that. And I still remember going to Miss Betty's house because this is so stupid. I remember her dog. She had a Cocker Spaniel. We also had a Cocker Spaniel that was like unhinged. Her dog was nice, but you would go to her door and she had like a courtyard thing. So there was like a gate and the dog would just run around in the courtyard. And so you'd go to like ring the bell or whatever. And I can't remember the dog's name. And the dog would always be like waiting there. And I'd be like, oh, this stupid dog. And it wasn't a jumpy dog. It was fine. It was older.
A dog though.
But I was like, oh.
And you probably didn't want to be there.
I didn't want to be
anyway.
there. Miss Betty was perfectly nice.
Yeah, but it's just the circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think all those things are why her mom kind of put that on her. That was her job in the family. Yeah.
Yep. And my mom would be like, well, I don't know. Tara's not going to be here. And whoever, you're going to have to go to Miss Betty's. I'd be like, no.
Right.
No. But when you're a working parent, I mean, you do what you got to do.
Do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do. All right. So number 2, how does Ramona manage to deal with Danny, a boy on her school bus, when he calls her Bigfoot?
How does she manage to deal with him?
That's what it says. Do you remember what she does? She snaps back at him and says, she says,
this is yard ape?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I was like, who's Danny?
She says it's Superfoot to you or something like that.
Yeah. Superfoot. Yeah, that's right.
Which, man, come on.
Good for her.
Good for her.
8 years old?
I know. That's one of those things that you okay, I was picked on a lot as a kid. And so I was never quick enough with quips back.
Me either. I'm still not.
I am now. But
you are. Not me. I'm like, let me text you later. Something better. Even my own children, I'm like, ooh, you burned me. I'll hit you up later.
And then an hour later, ooh, I got one.
Yeah.
Hey, as long as it comes, it doesn't matter. Well, I had nothing to say. And I mean, part of being made fun of a lot when I was a kid has made me be good at snapbacks now because I couldn't do it. And I was not as confident. Ramona is a confident little girl.
Mm-hmm.
She is not scared of that kid. She'd be like, listen,
it's sassy.
Superfoot to you.
Yeah.
And I was sassy too, but like to like the people who made fun of me, I just could not stand up to them. I just couldn't do it. Because then you have fear of being made fun of more.
I know.
When I was in high school, I eventually got over that. And I remember that there was this one guy who was a football player, of course, and he was extremely good looking, but he was a huge asshole. And I'm sure he's nice now. I mean, he was a young teenage kid.
Sure.
But typical jock, whatever. And I could not stand him. I was like the only I felt like I was the only person who saw him for what he really was. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I just could not stand him. Everybody had crushes on him. And I was like, guys, he's a douchebag. My apologies if you're a nice person now, sir. I'm not saying your name because maybe you're not and you're a huge, horrible asshole still. Anyway, we were going to our grad night trip here down to Disney. And I had a huge graduating class. So we were on lots of different buses and he was on my bus and I was like, ugh. Well, him and like a bunch of other football players came drunk on the bus. Teachers couldn't do anything because they weren't drinking actively. They were already drunk. So they were being loud and obnoxious. And my friends and I were sitting a few rows in front. And so they just start being fuckheads and he starts throwing shit, like little spitballs and stupid, like teenage boys do. And everybody was like, oh, great. And I was like, can you fucking stop? Like, or something. I was like, quit. Can you please stop? Nobody gives a care what you're doing. And he was like, oh, you stupid bit, whatever. But I was like, I couldn't take it anymore. And I was like, that's it. I'm done. I'm done with you thinking you're beautiful. Like, it's like you can throw spitballs at people. Let me be on this bus in my pajamas.
Let me just chill and read my book on this bus. Why do I gotta deal with your spitballs?
I still remember that because I'm
glad you said something.
I was like, I hate, and because you know what it is? It's like that whole that whole like jock popular person just think they can do whatever they want.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm
And
just
you didn't
so
like
sick
that.
of it.
Yeah.
I was so sick
I don't
of
blame
it.
you.
But anyway, I like that Ramona was quick with her quips.
Me too. And that she stood up for herself.
She did.
And I mean, I think that's a testament to because a lot of the things she's going through, they don't show her as, they don't mean she's weak, but it's just like showing normal struggles. And so to see her in a moment that's not weakness, where it could be like, oh, like he's mean to me and I'm being bullied and all this stuff, which is totally within anyone's right to feel that way. But to see her like kind of have that strength in her is nice, because as the reader, especially if you're empathizing with her, it's a moment where you can be like, it's like a victory for you too,
because then you're like, well, I can do that, right? Maybe I can say something back.
Totally.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, but here's the interesting part, and we'll talk about this. It says, why is it that once she gets her eraser back from him, Ramona begins to sort of like him? I always thought that was so weird in the book. Do you remember? Because he was like kind of...
Well, yeah, because then like she doesn't stay mad at him for the rest of the book.
No.
They kind of become friends, and she kind of likes him. I wonder if it's just a level playing field respect thing.
Maybe.
Like she feels respected, and she demanded respect from him, which now he's giving.
Oh, that's deep.
Which he should have respected her, just period, dot. But maybe that's it. Like they say, and who knows? This is not my actual advice, so please don't take it. But when you stand up to bullies, then they don't bully you.
Oh.
I don't know that that's actually
also
true.
not true.
But it's that idea,
right?
That like when you push back, sometimes that boundary is what people need to be like, oh, okay, I guess you're not someone I can push around.
Yeah.
Now, that doesn't explain... No. That explains why maybe he might treat her better, but that doesn't really explain why, like, now she's being nice to him.
Right.
Which is funny. We had something in Dawson's Creek like that, too.
We sure did.
That I was going to bring up when we get there.
We sure did. And
that I was like, why? Why? But anyway.
So much to say about these last few episodes of Dawson's Creek.
Oh, my goodness.
Y'all need to go listen to those episodes. We're almost there.
Almost done.
Okay. Number 3. Why does Miss Whaley, Ramona's 3rd grade teacher, call sustained silent reading period dear? What is it? Drop everything and read. Yeah. Why does she call it that? I don't remember what she said.
I don't either.
She said she wanted to call it something more fun or something like that.
Yeah.
And then she said, why doesn't Ramona like the name? I can't remember.
I can't either.
Wow. We are doing great on this question.
She doesn't like which name? Sustained silent reading or deer?
Remember, she didn't like deer.
Oh.
And she called it drop everything and run.
Oh,
remember?
Yeah. I can't remember why.
I don't either. Well, we'll just skip on that.
Keep
going. Why is it the best part of the school day, according to Ramona and Howie? Now, I don't remember what Howie said.
Me either. But I guess it must be similar to what she said, what Ramona said.
Which she just is excited to be able to read.
Yeah.
For exactly what I said, because then you don't have to hide it and you can just read and everybody leaves you alone. And it's the best. This was one of my favorite parts of the book when I was a kid, and they have it in the TV series exactly the way it happens.
Classic.
Katie's reading ahead.
I was. I know what you're going to say.
Who started the hard-boiled egg fad at school, and what happens when Ramona tries to follow the fad? Now, these questions are written for kids, and they're just trying to help them with their
critical thinking.
Their critical thinking and their reading comprehension to remember facts, which we just failed on number 3.
We did. Yes.
Failing on reading comprehension section of our test today. I don't remember who started it.
It was Yard Date.
Oh, it was. That's right.
Yeah.
Now,
started it.
That sounds disgusting with tons of kids bringing hard-boiled eggs.
I know.
That would smell so horrible.
It was like there was some fad before it that she mentions that she knew her mom wouldn't let her do because it had to do with like junk food.
Oh,
but then when Yard Ape started bringing hard-boiled egg, she knew her mom would let her do that trend because it's like a healthy protein food.
She didn't get the right egg. So if y'all haven't read this book, we won't ruin it for you. It's the whole book, but this part we will.
Yeah.
So they bring these hard-boiled eggs, and their thing they like to do, the kids, is to smash it against their head to start the peeling process. Well, Ramona does it and the egg, she grabbed the wrong egg and it wasn't boiled and it just got all over. Bless her heart.
I had to go to like the office.
And it was like a whole thing. And it was so funny. She was so mad at her mom. Valid.
Yeah.
Like valid. She did not hard boil
because
the
she
egg.
even checks with her mom before she leaves that day. She's like, did you put my hard boiled egg in there? And her mom's like, yes, it's in there. Like, yeah.
But it's so funny. If y'all want, look up the clip from the Canadian TV series because it's the little girl actress is so cute and she does such a good job. And she does it. She has
like,
a real egg.
yeah.
Yes, it's so funny. But I was just thinking, what were some school lunch fads when we were kids?
Oh gosh.
Do you remember? I remember like the thermos, like bringing, we talked about that, Chef Boyardee.
Yep.
I would bring Chef Boyardee in a thermos. Do you remember? I don't know if your school did this. Do you remember? I think I was like in middle school when people would do this. They would bring dry packets of ramen and you would just like open it, sprinkle the seasoning and then crunch it up and then eat it like chips. Did you do that?
No, I don't remember.
Maybe that was a regional thing.
That's so, I mean, that doesn't sound terrible.
It's pretty disgusting, but we did that.
We did it. I can't really think of any like specifically.
I don't know why I remember. I'm trying to think of other ones. Oh, well, Little Debbie snacks were always a hit.
Of course.
I remember when Gushers came out. And I would beg. And my mom was we ate all the junk food, so whatever. I would beg my mom to get the Gushers.
Yep.
What else?
My kids still love those. Fruit by the Foot was when it came out when we were young. Like it was a newer thing.
And fruit roll-ups. Y'all saw my trick with the fruit roll-up on my finger.
That was so fun.
And bugles. We also ate bugles off our fingers.
I love those. I try to not have them in my house. I will eat them all.
That's me and Oreos.
And they make me feel so sick, but I can't stop.
Can I tell you guys, there is a snack food that is about to have to be blacklisted at my house because I can't stop eating it. Now listen, I love snack foods and I'm not saying foods, but there's things I don't have control around.
Right. It's the extreme things, right?
Like Oreos. I can only have Oreos in my house every now and then because nobody else really they'll like them, but I shovel them in my mouth. So Trader Joe's, we talked about these before, has these fake Takis, but not the spicy Takis. They're Cool Ranch ones.
Yep. I love them.
Guys, I can't stop eating them.
They're so good.
And nobody else really, like everybody can, it's like hit or miss in my house.
Yeah.
Every day I eat them. I eat them every day with my lunch, whatever it happens to be, even if it doesn't match. So like I had like eggs and something and I was like, and ranch Takis. They're so good.
They're really good. We like those we like both in my house, but yeah.
And they're like cheap. They're like $2 a bag. And so I buy like 3 bags. It's so bad. I have to stop because I can't stop
not even have them. Yeah.
But y'all need to know, if you haven't had that snack and you like ranch flavored stuff, go to your Trader Joe's. If you don't have one, I will buy some and mail them to you because they are that good.
They're really good.
They remind me of when I first found Dots pretzels a few years back and I couldn't stop eating those.
I love
and now they have all the flavors.
The honey mustard are really good.
And I like to mix them. Okay, now we're hungry. All right,
now we're hungry.
I'll be done. Okay, so let's talk about this. We don't have to go through all these questions, but what does Ramona overhear Miss Whaley saying about her and why does it hurt her feelings?
It's how she says she's a nuisance and a show off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And why does it hurt her feelings? Because it is kind of a mean thing to say about a kid. She says later in the book, not to anyone out loud, but in her head, she asked her mom how teachers are paid.
Oh, right.
And her mom's like, well, we all pay teachers with our taxes. And she was like, well, I think we should stop paying taxes. And in her head, she's like, my teacher is paid to like me.
Right.
And so this feels like her teacher doesn't like her.
Well, and it's hurtful. And then she finds out she wasn't saying Ramona was a nuisance. She was saying it was a nuisance for the lady to have to wash the egg out of her hair.
Yeah, it was a misunderstanding.
It was out of context. And so, but then it says, do you think Ramona really is a show off and a nuisance?
No,
I don't either. I think she kind of is a show off and she even admits it. But I say show off, not in the way of like, I am a diva show off.
Okay.
Just in the way of she likes to make people laugh.
True.
And so that can be mistaken as trying to like be an attention hog or whatever. But I think she just likes to be silly and she likes to like have people be silly with her. And I don't think that's being a show off. I mean, it is, but not
in a negative way though.
Right.
It's just a personality trait.
Yes.
And it's what she kind of brings to the social atmosphere.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think she's a show off. And I always hated that when I was a kid. I think I've told you a story about one of my grandpas kind of saying something like that to me once.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's like, well, you think you're great and you think you're whatever. And I was kind of thinking like, yeah, I do think I'm great. You know what I mean? Like, what's it to you? Like, why do you care, Grandpa?
Of course I'm great.
Of course I'm great. What's wrong with that? You know, right? So I kind of empathized with her for that, where, you know, where like when it's even goes back to the memes that we see nowadays that are like, take up space and this and that her overhearing that almost could cause her to shrink back from who she is.
Right.
Right. And I think we've all either heard someone say something about us like that or got that feeling that someone was trying to make us smaller in whatever moment it was. And it still happens as adults, by the way. When you actively have to push back against that and be like, no, this is who I am and I'm going to take up space and I'm going to say how I feel and I'm going to whatever. And that's essentially what's happening to her here, even if a little bit of it is like a misunderstanding.
Look, we're getting deep today.
We're getting deep.
Who knew, Ramona?
Yep.
Well, it's like, you know, like we were just saying, I was told so much when I was a kid, like, quit being so dramatic. Like, quit. It's not that big of a deal. Like, calm down. I mean, the night my dad died and I was young, I was 11, and my grandma said, like, I started to freak out. Now, meanwhile, my sister's losing her shit. My mom's making phone calls and I start to panic. And my grandma was like, no, we're not doing that right now. We're not doing that right now. Only to me. And I'm not really sure why. I still don't know. I wish I could figure out what her thought process was in that moment. But like, everybody is a big feeler. Every human being has big feelings. Let me put it that way. Some of us just express them more grandly. Some people just wear their things on the outside more. That is what I have always done. But I was told for so long when I was a kid not to do that and like, to keep it together and just like, and it sucks because now I'm just let it all out. And sometimes I do have to, I mean, you have to rein it back in just because, like, guys, like, not everything has to be a big deal. But I hear myself sometimes say that to my youngest and I have to undo it because I'm like, oh, no, feel your feels. Or I'll say, I know you feel like this is a big deal right now. And that's valid. Like, those are your feelings. One day you won't feel like this.
Yes.
Right now you do. Or, you know, or I'll say, go ahead and go cry, go feel your feels. And then the next day move on, right?
Yes.
Do your things. But sometimes I'm like, yeah, I remember being told that a lot. Or, you know, I'm a loud person being told all the time to take it down a notch. I mean, not granted, I do need to be, I have no inside voice and that's a problem.
Yeah, I mean,
but you know what I mean.
I do. And I think we've all, like I said, had those moments where someone has told us to shrink back.
Especially girls.
The only thing I can think with your grandma, and this is just a total outsider perspective, is that if you were panicking, maybe it was just like one more thing to worry about that they didn't want to worry about. I don't know, because I feel like I've never been in those shoes, but if I was the grandma or the mom, like to my kids, I would let them kind of freak out.
Yeah,
and I'd be freaking out, you know? So I don't know. And I mean, not that it's an excuse, but she's from a different generation.
Well, I know. And like my sister had a lot of things going on. And so a lot of attention had to be given to her, like medical things. Anyway. And so I don't know. It's just weird. Anyway, that's a whole nother story.
That's a whole
we ain't
other
going
story.
into that jam.
No, not right now.
So let's talk about this. And then this will be our last question.
Okay.
When Ramona and her older sister Beezus complain about what they are eating for dinner, Mr. Quimby decides the two girls will make dinner the following night. Do you think this is a reasonable punishment?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought the opposite.
Really?
Because Ramona's 8 years old and her sister was not much older. They don't know what they're doing and you're going to put them in there with fire. And like, I mean, there are so many hazards. Yeah. Like if I did that to my kids at that age, they would have burned the house down or hurt themselves.
I mean, I guess it depends if they're prescribing what they have to make or if it's
but they
like
didn't.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So maybe make something within your means. If you don't know how to use the stove, then
they didn't.
I think that's the punishment, although they did use probably things that might have been potentially dangerous. But I think his whole point was, if you don't like it, then you need a taste of like what goes into this.
I mean, I understand what his theory was, but I just thought absolutely not. Like that's unsafe. Now in my house, you complain what we're eating, then you just don't eat. Like, no, you may not go make yourself something else. No, this is if I make this is what we're eating for dinner. I'll tell you a funny story about broccoli.
Ooh.
So I have picky eaters. Okay. Even my husband's a picky eater and I am not. And so my tolerance for picky eating is very little. And the more children we had, which is only 2,
they're multiplying.
It got less. Well, my husband's the first piggy eater, then Kaden, and then so by Cooper, I was like, I am over these people, and I'm the one who's in charge of most of the meals in my house. So, anyways, we had a rule when the kids were smaller that I started with Cooper was you don't have to eat. We don't have like a clean plate situation, but you do have to eat the vegetables. When they were little, you have to eat all the vegetables on your plate.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Everything else, you don't have to finish, but the vegetables are a non-negotiable. Well, Cooper liked to push boundaries even as like a toddler. And I was like, if you don't finish what you're having for dinner right now, then you can have it in the morning. Because it wasn't just like, I'm not hungry anymore. It's just like, I don't want to eat this.
Mm-hmm.
So he decided to test me one day. Now, Kaden figured out really quickly, let me just eat this broccoli and then I'll eat the rest of I'll eat it and then it's fine. Cooper was like, I don't want to eat the broccoli. He was like 4. And I said, okay, well, you want it in the morning for breakfast? Because you're not going to have snacks. Like, if you don't eat what you're having for dinner, you don't get snacks later. Like, sorry, because whatever. And he's like, yeah. And I said, okay. And he goes, I will eat my broccoli for breakfast. I don't want it right now. I said, okay. Packed up the broccoli, put it in the fridge. In the morning, he gets to the breakfast table. There's the cold, disgusting ass broccoli. And he goes, I'm going to eat that for lunch. I swear to you. I said, fine. Pack it up, put it. He gets the broccoli for the 3rd time. And Kaden, and it was during the summer, and Kaden was like, just eat the broccoli, Cooper.
Yeah.
She's going to keep giving it to you.
Right.
Like,
it's not
he was like,
away.
she's going to give up. Like, he was like, it was like a battle of wills. And I was like, you will not beat me, 4-year-old. I will. And he finally ate it. But like, it was so annoying. So I thought this was unreasonable with the dinner rule because I have a house of picky eaters. And there was a night Kaden was like, I don't want to eat any of this. I said, that's fine. If you're not eating this, then you're not eating. And he was like, okay. So he didn't. And then the next night he realized, I'm starving. So I'm just going to suck it up.
I'm going to have to eat.
You're going to have to eat what's made for you. Like,
right.
And that's the way it be.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I guess I didn't have like a strong feeling either way on it.
You don't have picky eaters, do you?
I do.
Oh, Brant's picky.
We joke that we almost always have to make 2 dinners.
Oh, see, I will not do that.
But there's just so many of us. Like, yeah, I don't know. That's why I've been quiet, because you would hate the way we do dinners at our house. And we do say make your own thing if you want to,
but
as
that's
long
fine.
as you
That's
clean
your
it
house.
all up.
But see, you have multiple people who, like you have multiple people who do the things. It's generally, especially then, it was just me.
That's true.
It's just me who gets the groceries.
Yes.
It's just me who makes it. I mean,
right.
Troy does more now than
Grant makes stuff. I make stuff. And then also like our evening schedules now, same probably with you guys.
Yeah,
like
it's
not everyone's there. So
exactly.
it's like we will make one meal that's available.
Yeah. Well, that's what we
dinner.
do now. Yeah.
And then if that's not your jam, or you're just not feeling it, or you hate whatever it is, because it's hard to make 7 people. Now my son barely eats with us at all now, but even 6 people, something they like all the time, then find something else. And I do make like breakfast for everyone. And usually that's not one thing, but breakfast is different. Yeah. Like I can make a bagel, right? Pour a bowl of cereal. Right. You know what I mean? Like, and they're all capable of that too. Like today I left before most of them were up because it's summer, and I was just like, well, you're on your own. But if I can, because I'm usually home that time, but my husband usually, has to, I mean, to be fair, I've stopped eating like pastas and stuff just to try to get my joints like back on track, which is a lot of like what my husband will make for everyone.
Because that's easy for a big group.
So like he's even said recently, he's like, well, I don't even know what to make for you. And I'm like, don't worry about me. Like I'll figure it out.
You're not eating carbs at all?
Some, but not
How's
like
your energy.
Good.
Oh,
it's been
I would
good.
die without my energy. I've tried that before, and my energy is be like, oh.
I know. It depends on the day.
It's a hard balance.
It depends on the day. But I'm just where I can. Trying to be like, okay, well, I'll just like grill a piece of chicken and some veggies instead. Like, I don't need to eat this pasta dish that you made and that's fine with me. But again, he's like, I'm trying to make food for everyone, but I don't know what to do for you. But anyway, enough about my weird eating habits as of late.
Listen, everybody's got to do what works for their house, okay?
Yeah.
And so
this was apparently what Ramona's dad wanted to do.
I just thought that was not safe to have two small children.
Totally fair.
With fire and knives.
But also, like, the timing of when it was written.
I know.
We used to let kids do way more.
I know.
And learned from that, right? There's a reason we don't let our kids do all that now.
Correct.
I'm not saying like kids were more capable then. We just let them do more then.
Can I tell you what I did?
What?
Me, a grown-ass adult. This is so scary. A couple weeks ago, it was the night we went to go see Rock of Ages. Okay. Me and my husband and my youngest. I had cooked dinner before we left. And we have gas stove, right? And so usually, you know if it's on because you can see the flames.
Mm-hmm.
So I had cooked dinner. We ate dinner. Like generally the way it works in my house is whoever is cooking dinner, like we all help clean up, but like Troy will do the majority of the dishwashing if I cook the dinner. Okay. That's just the way it is. So we ate dinner. He's washing dishes. I'm getting ready to go. We leave. We come back. It's like 5 hours later. It's summertime and Caden's home, so they're up way later than we are. So I was like, well, let me go in the kitchen and make sure everything, the lights are off at least, because I know they'll forget to turn them off. I go in the kitchen. The stove is on. You guys.
It had been on all that time.
It had been on for like 5 hours. So
nothing on it, just open.
Yeah, just a fucking low flame. I panic. I run. Troy's like falling asleep. And I was like, oh my God. We left, and it was a we because he was there. Like it was both of us in the kitchen.
Stuff. Yeah.
And he went, I was like, we left the stove on. And he goes, no way. It got knocked. I said, there's no way it got knocked because the way gas heat works is you have to ignite it.
And it clicks. And
I said, it's not like you just knock it. Like the cat would climb up there. That doesn't happen. And like, can I tell you guys, my brain was like all these times that I panic and think I left a curling iron on or didn't lock the front door and I come back and check and
literal
it's fine.
Open flame.
This time I checked nothing and it was fucking on. And so then I'm like, are we going to die of carbon monoxide poisoning? He's like, Danny, no, it burnt, like it's burned off. It's burned off. It's not like the gas was on.
Right.
He's like, you can leave something simmering for hours on end on a stove. I was like, oh, true. But I was like, so I just like laid there in bed.
Oh
like,
my God. It's
of
so
all
scary.
the things that could have gone wrong. Guys.
So yes, that's happened to me a couple times with our garage door where I wake up in the morning and it's open.
Oh,
and it's
night?
been open all night.
Oh my God, panic.
And like the door into the house.
Oh my God,
locked.
panic.
That's happened a couple times. But when I was running a bunch in the morning, there was one morning, this is funny, I started to make a hard-boiled egg. Like the water in the pan. And I forgot about it and left.
Shit.
So no one else in my house is up. So I'm running 5, 6, 7
so you're
miles.
gone a long time. Yeah.
Long time. And I wasn't really looking at my phone. So Brant wakes up to the smoke alarms going off.
No way.
And he doesn't know why. He just like hears it. He goes in the kitchen. It's like literally no water in the pan. Just this like burnt up egg. It's probably an hour later. And he's like turning it like almost like catching things on fire. And he's calling me and I'm not answering. So then I like walk in. He's like, did you leave an egg on? I'm like, oh shit. And I go run to the kitchen. I already got it. But yeah.
Oh my God, guys.
He woke up to like, he's like, you gotta like pay attention. I'm like, I know. But same kind of thing. I was like, wow. Like
it's so crazy.
It can happen so fast.
So we tell these stories to say, no, these young children should not be unattended in the kitchen.
Yeah.
As grown-ass people.
I know you said that was going to be the last question, but I looked ahead to this one. I think we should do that one as the last one.
Okay. Here's the last one. What is the happy ending to the day when the Quimbys go out for dinner together one dismal rainy Sunday when everyone is cross?
So that's when they go to the burger place.
Yes.
Whoppa Burger or something. Whopper Burger or something.
No, I think, hold on.
Isn't it called that?
I don't know. Let's see.
But they go, despite, financial strain, they decide, you know what, we're going to go out to eat. And so they go, and she doesn't have to order off the kids' menu. Her parents let her order off the normal menu. That guy, yeah. And so then older gentleman that's kind of like paying attention to them ends up paying for their meal, but they don't know till they go to leave. He's already long gone.
Yeah. That's happened to me before.
Has it?
I'll tell you the story. Okay, it was Whopper Burger.
Whopper Burger. Okay.
You're right. Is that what you said?
I said Whoppa Burger. I don't know why.
Whatever. Same
Whopper Burger.
That happened to me one time. I was out with a bunch of girlfriends. I can't remember when this was in my life, but it was like 4 or 5 of us. And we went out to dinner. And I want to say it was when I was like a young mom. And so we didn't get out much. And we were just having so much fun. We were just laughing, cackling, crying, laughing, and we are sitting there and the waitress comes over and we ended up ordering dessert. Or no, we didn't. She comes over and she said, this man over there wants to pay for y'all's dessert because he said it's just bringing him so much joy to see y'all laughing.
Aww.
And we were like, what? And she's like, yeah, he just wants to pay for y'all to have dessert because y'all's laughed. And then he eventually came over and was like, it's so nice to see like smiles. And I don't think he was by himself. I can't remember. But that was like you see that happen in books and movies, but I was like,
people really do this. So that's very heartwarming. I have a non-heartwarming one.
No,
I mean, it's fine.
I was like, she's like, great.
It's funny. It's funny. Okay. So I was on a business trip somewhere. I feel like I was in Philadelphia. I don't know why specifically I remember that, but I was. And like my older kids were at different like relatives and parents. Oh, no. Yeah. Actually, my husband had my 3 girls. So his kids were over with their mom. Okay. And they were obviously younger than now, but they were probably 11 and under.
Okay.
All 3 of them. So he takes them to Hooters. Why, sir? Because he just wanted wings, and he's like, it's fine.
What?
So it's him and these 3 girls, which is, first of all, hilarious.
Oh, my God, Brant.
So they go. They have a kids menu and stuff. And the waitress is talking to them about how she's in college, and she's, like, talking to all of them. So a couple was there, an older couple, who must have thought this poor divorced man bringing his 3 kids to freaking Hooters on a Sunday because it's his dad day or whatever. They end up buying their dinner.
I love that.
Because they were like, oh, you just seem like a good dad. Because, like, I just feel like their reasoning was probably off. Like,
you're right. Because they're like, look at that dad just being a fucking parent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if you were there, nobody would have bought you anything.
Right.
They probably would have been judging you.
Yeah. And so it was kind of, so the whole story was funny to me. I was like,
that's hilarious.
What in the world? But then the girls, which I don't necessarily think this is bad, but they didn't think of Hooters as like a bad place.
Well, why would they until
like,
somebody tells you to? Yeah.
So we were at this Girl Scout meeting. Not long after. And my little one, Erin, we're there. And in her little cute little raspy voice, she's like, my dad took me to Hooters. And I tell you how quick the leader just snaps her head and looks at me. And I was like, yeah, like we just kind of view it as a restaurant, like whatever. I'm trying to blow it off.
It is a restaurant.
And she was like, well, like just to me, not to my daughter, obviously. She was like, well, like I just think the objectification of women is really terrible.
She told you that?
I mean, she was like really upset about it. And I was like, well, I don't know. It was my husband's fault.
But also, like, that's your business.
I know. It was a little much, but it was just
take
funny.
her to a strip club.
Yeah.
She's not sitting at bare assets.
It was just so funny. I like, as soon as I saw her little mouth open, I was like, I know what she's going to say.
I mean, listen, I am not a big fan of Hooters. And guys out there, don't tell me they have the best wings. They do not. They taste like every other wing in the history of the world.
Yeah.
That is not why you want to go there. Just say you want to go look at beautiful women. That's fine. Okay. That is what it exists for.
Yeah.
It is not some culinary delight.
No. And honestly, a lot of them have closed. The one over by our mall is closed now.
I mean, I had a friend in college who worked there, and she made lots of money. She paid for a lot of school with that. But could I do it? No. People would pay me not to work there these days.
They'd be like, actually get out.
Actually.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I you can have whatever feelings you want, but it is still just a restaurant.
It is.
It's not that big a deal.
Restaurant.
It's not that big a deal.
And the reason she even brought it up is because like they talked about that for a long time, how they really liked it there and how those people bought their food and they were able to get dessert. Like they just like thought it was like such a fun time.
It's like kid food. It's like bar food. It's like
is
fries
like
and like you know, chicken tenders. And the waitress was probably pretty and nice.
And young probably. So yeah, it was just the whole thing. I was like, this is what is this? What is life? But anyway.
I remember when Kaden played travel baseball and there's like, you know, people would want to go like to team dinners and stuff. And as you know, my husband is not a big group activity kind of person. So we would go every now and then.
Yeah.
And we weren't always all at all, you know, you have sports things. And so I would be like, we'll go when Dad's not with us or make it. But there was this one time where they just wanted to bring the boys to Hooters. And I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not bringing my preteen boy.
Yeah.
So I'm not. Like, yeah. And I just, and Cooper I was like, I just don't want to do that.
Okay, too.
And I'm like, now if they want to go on their own, that's their business.
Sure.
But I felt so weird about it. I was like, I just not.
Especially when you've got a lot of options. Like,
well, and it's different when you have boys.
Yeah.
And you're trying to teach, like, especially Kaden was such like a nervous kid. And, you know, we would try and teach him, like, don't stare at women. Like, you can look at women, but don't linger. Don't linger. Like, you can't help it. If you notice somebody attractive, like, you can't help. But there's a difference in looking and lingering, as we all know.
Yes.
But he would get nervous. Like,
it's like, am I looking too long?
That.
How many seconds is it? Like, yeah. Oh, poor kid.
I know. So I was like, I don't want to sit with a bunch of like 11 and 12-year-olds at Hooters, boys.
And especially if he felt like that, then you know he's going to be uncomfortable the whole time.
A lot of the dads were like douchey dirtbaggies.
It depends on the group.
And sure. I don't need to listen to all the comments that they gonna say.
No. Gross. So. No, thank you.
Anyway, we moving on. But so, what's your opinion on Ramona Quimby?
I really liked it. Are we giving stars?
I mean, we sure can.
I think it's our first one for the summer. So I think we say yes, we're doing stars this summer.
We're doing stars.
I think a 4.5. I'm trying to think why I wouldn't give it the other 0.5. I don't know.
Okay, that's a deep thought. I was just going to say a 5.
Yeah, I can't think of what I would take off for.
My legs, I'm wearing shorts today, guys, and we have these leather seats now, and my legs are like...
You're like stuck. I'll still say 4.5, but
okay.
If I think of why I'm even deducting that, I will let y'all know. I'll let y'all know.
Look, I would like everybody knows how tall I look today.
You're taller than me right now. Wow.
And I'm not using a booster. My chair is just at like this really good angle.
It's a really good angle. We need to put spike marks on the floor. Like
this
your
is Danny's
chair
tall
here,
angle.
My chair here, and then it looks great proportionally. Awesome. Well, that was really good research. Thank you. That was so much fun. And next week's a movie.
Next week
what movie is it? Do you remember? I don't know. We can look in our... I was just curious.
I forgot.
I looked when we like first
Is it Dazed and Confused?
It might be Dazed and Confused.
Yes.
Ooh, I love Dazed and Confused. That
it's going to be so much fun.
And I haven't seen it in forever. It's one of those like I've rewatched a bunch of times, but then I haven't like watched it recently.
I watched it last year and I don't...
Oh, no, I know what you did last summer.
Oh, that's right. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Yay. Horror. Summer horror. Let's go.
I cannot wait. I'm going to make at least a couple of my children watch with me. Yes, I can't wait. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks, guys, for joining us for Xennial Girl Summer. And be sure you're leaving reviews wherever you're listening. 5 stars, please.
5 stars.
And follow us. We're in the 90s on YouTube subscribers at this point.
Woo!
90s girls. But we would like to get to triple digits. So maybe you. Maybe you'll be
10 more people.
100.
Come on.
Let's go.
Come on. Let's do it.
Please do all those things. And
sign up for our live event
next time. Oh, yeah. Come to the live event. We're getting close on tickets because
when if you want to come, you better sign up.
We had a few more sign-ups. So I think we only have like 10 seats
left.
Ooh,
if you want to come, you better sign up.
Don't miss out. We'll see you hopefully July 3rd, free event.
Yay.
And we'll see you on our next installment. Of Xennial Girl Summer movie edition. Talk to you guys later.
Okay.
Goodbye.